Hello, it's Eamon. For those of you who read my blog, you know that I made it a New Year's resolution to read the Bible. The reason I'm doing this is because as a member of the LGBT community, most Christians use the Bible to condemn my life and call me a sinner. I think it's important to be more knowledgeable than my attackers so that I can defend myself, and because I want to help you guys as well, I will be pinpointing every story or quote that has ever been used to say homosexuality is a sin, and I will be exploring it as it was originally meant to be understood, as well as giving you my own interpretations. Of course, the creation story is the first we come across, and one of the most widely used. I'm sure we've all heard the saying, God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And that's exactly how they tell the story. God made Adam and Eve, as if that's all there is to it. But actually, the Bible says at first, God just made Adam. It was only after Adam got lonely that God decided to find Adam an helpmeet, which can be roughly translated to mean a helper. It was at that point that God told Adam to pick his helpmeet from all the animals, but Adam said they weren't right. It was only then that God waited until Adam was asleep to take one of his ribs and form Eve, a being that was the same as him, to be his helpmeet. There are a few key points that I'd like to make. First, God didn't make Eve for Adam because it's what God wanted. He did it because it's what Adam wanted and needed. His helper was a blessing to him from God to make him happy. Second, we have to analyze what is an helpmeet or a helper. Well, according to the scholars who added guides at the beginning of this Bible to help the reader, life is a love relationship with God. If that's true, then our helper would be someone who brings us closer to God and helps us to love Him better. Third, God never set any boundaries on who Adam's helper could be. God gave him his choice of everything that was currently available. It just so happens that animals don't think or act on the same level as us, and so can't be our helpers, and there were no humans at the time. However, I believe that when Adam was asleep, God took that opportunity to look into his heart and find out who he wanted. It just happened to be Eve. I believe that God does the same for us. He looks into our hearts and finds out what our needs and wants are and leads us to the person that is our perfect helper. Just as he didn't set boundaries on Adam, he doesn't set boundaries on us. We just need to follow 3 basic rules. We need to find a human, no bestiality. Obviously, animals can't be good helpers on our life's mission. Second, that person needs to make us happy. And number 3, through that happiness, that person should bring us closer to peace and love, and therefore closer to God. The bottom line is, if we do not allow ourselves to find our true helpers, then we are denying God's greatest gift, and because of it, our lives and our worship will suffer. So I don't see how any of this has to do with sex or gender or sexuality. Well, that's it for the creation story. Next, I'll be doing Sodom and Gomorrah. And if you like this Bible series, make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see them all.